So we're going to talk about percent change. We're going to need this for the project. So you want to make sure you're filling in the equation with me, doing a couple examples so you know how it works. So percent change, that is the ratio of the amount that's changing to the original amount. So that's going to be this equation, percent change. Okay. So that means if the ratio is the amount of change, that's what's going on top. So if you're wondering what does that mean, we'll take a look at a couple examples and that'll be easier to see what is changing. How much are we changing? That is being divided by, notice this is a fraction bar, being divided by the original amount. Okay, so the best example I can give for this is maybe like a test, right? I keep going back to the test. So if I get 15 out of 20 on a test, that would be 75%, okay? I would do 15 divided by 20. So let's say I get 75% on a test. My teacher allows me to make corrections. I go up to a 90%. So if the original amount goes up, then it's called a percent increase. So we could say, right, my original score, I got 15 right. Maybe my new score, I got 18 right. So I went from 75% to 90%. That's a percent increase. But if the original amount goes down, then it's called a percent decrease. So a good example of this is maybe you're shooting free throws in a basketball season, right? You start off great. You haven't made that many, but you've made them. And then you just start doing terrible throughout the rest of the season. You just miss over and over and over. So your percent slowly goes down, okay? So that means my original amount is getting lower. I'm not making as many. So we can use percents for all types of problems, for money, we'll look at an example that's dealing with weight. We'll look at numbers that's dealing with people, okay? So lots of different ways we can use this. So make sure we have those filled in. We're going to look at the first example. So it says Beth bought a $75 pair of jeans for $60. We want to find the percent change and tell me if is it an increase or is it a decrease. So I want to know what percentage has changed. Starting from, I bought my pair of jeans for $75. So what I like to do is I like to write an O for original. That's my original number. That's what it would have been. But I actually got to buy it for $60. So that would be my newer price. So you could think of this as it was discounted, right? What I'm trying to find is the percent that it was discounted. So it's the same idea of what we've been doing. We're just given a different piece of information this time. So what I want to do is look at my formula. My formula has the amount of change on the top. I'm going to abbreviate this as amount of change on the top over my original amount. That's my formula. I need to take how much I'm changing on the top, put that over the original, divide, convert that to a percent. So the question is, how much have I changed? If it originally was $75, but I got it on sale for $60, how much changed between those prices? How much did I go down by? I think I heard it, 15. If you don't know, you can always subtract. If you're like, I don't know what the difference between 75 and 60 is, I'm hoping we do, right? I'm hoping we can see that there's a difference of 15 between them. You can always take bigger number minus smaller number. That will give you the difference, okay? That's what it's asking. It's saying, how much have we decreased by? I've decreased by $15. That number goes on top. Then on the bottom is the original amount. We said that 75 was the original amount, so there's my fraction. We practiced this on Friday when I was gone, but you watched a video and you did a Google Sheet of this where I'm taking 15, dividing it by 75. That gives me its decimal. So that decimal is 0.2. Then we even on the Google Sheet turn that into its percent. So what is 0.2 as a percent? 20%. Good. Because you would move that decimal back 2 places. So 20%. Okay. So by the end of this unit, my goal is for you guys to be able to look at 0.2 and tell me that's 20. Look at 0.3. Tell me that's 30. Look at 0.25. Tell me that's 25%. We need to be able to go back and forth between decimals and percents just like that. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at some more examples here and try that again. So for number 1, it says John went from weighing 140 pounds to 150 pounds. So what was John's original weight? What number?
140.
The 140. So I'm going to put an O next to the 140. What is his new weight?
155.
155. Okay, so that's step one, and just recognizing what's the original number, what's the new number. So I need to figure out how much has changed between those weights. How many pounds did he gain? 15. If you don't know that, we can always subtract. Bigger number minus smaller number, but again, that's a little bit of an easier problem. You should be able to subtract those in your head. Okay? I'm putting that over my original. The original we wrote was 140. That's the number that I put the O next to. So I can divide. So we have 15-pound difference divided by my 140 original. So we have 0.107. I'm just going to keep 3 decimals. Okay, so I'll round to 3. And so then I can convert. We can move it 2 places. So I'm at 10.7%. Okay, 10.7%. And would this be an increase or a decrease? Did we increase weight or decrease weight? A increase, right? I went from 140 to 155. So we also want to make sure that we're writing increase. We'll do the same thing for this first example as well. But that one was a decrease because I started with a higher amount of 75 and I saved money, right, by buying it for 60. So that was a decrease. All right, let's try that a couple more times and you'll try the last one on your own. So for number 2, we have a computer that sold for $815 last month, but now is selling for $925 this month. So this one was that $815 is still the original. That is still the first time or the original amount that we sold it for. Even though it was a month ago, that was the initial one. The newer price is $925. So we want to figure out what is the amount that has changed between those prices. So we can take $925 minus $815. That will tell me what my amount of change is. And then we put that over my original amount. So the original price of that computer was $815. So that goes on the bottom. So we could type in $925 minus $815, which gives me $110. So we're going to do $110 divided by $815. And so that gives me 0.135 if I round to 3 decimals. And we can move the decimal 2 spaces over. So that gives me 13.5%. Was this an increase or a decrease? Increase, good. Okay. So then number 3, last one that I'll do with you, and you'll try number 4 on your own. So this one, we have a debate team. Last year, they had 25 members. This year, we have 18 members. So the original number of members was 25. So I'm going to put an O next to that. That was what I started with. My new number, my current number is 18. So we can already tell we've decreased in members. So I need to find the amount that's changed. So we can take 25 minus 18 on the top, or putting that over the original amount of members, which was 25. So 25 minus 18 is 7. So I lost 7 members over the original 25. So when we divide, we get an exact decimal of 0.28, which means that would be a 28% decrease. Okay? So go ahead and try number 4 on your own. You